I'm Queen Sylvie of the multiple award-winning The Queen Sylvie Show. You want to expand and get noticed? Then come outside your box and into our world. Internet advertising has a real impact on global awareness and even sales, so let's make an impact together. Offering for a limited time advertising and sponsorship packages that excel your purpose. So contact Queen Sylvie or Smooth Tim for the exciting opportunities that awaits. Yeah.
Are you tired of driving around a dirty car? Say hello to the ultimate solution for your car. Quick Auto Detail, home, work, or wherever. Their mobile car spa will clean and shine your car anytime and anywhere. Their products are gentle on your car's paint, and they use only the highest quality materials. Book your appointment now.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? It's time for the final countdown. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's rock.
Hey, it is Smooth Tim, and thank you so very much for dropping by and spending another hump day with me on Tim's Tidbits. And, hey, it has been a very interesting week. I hope everybody had a good weekend prior. It looks like the weather gone around the whole United States is a little bit different. We're having, I guess, an Indian summer. Heck, we're in our 80 degrees. Just beautiful weather up here around the Great Lakes. I know they're still having some extreme heat conditions out west and hurricane conditions down south. So we won't call it global warming. We'll just call it interesting weather patterns. Anyhow, hey, last night in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, they had the debate going on. I hope everybody had the opportunity to tune in and maybe tune out occasionally, depending on how your perspective on what was going on up there. But otherwise, hearts and prayers are still going out around the world. There's things happening still in Ukraine, Russia, North Korea, South Korea, China, and Taiwan. Come on, guys. Any regards, hey, we'll catch up a little bit on maybe some of that or all of that in the show tonight. But anyhow, hey, as I had mentioned, they're having, they did have rather the debate between Kamala and Trump last night. It was very interesting. But the other interesting thing is, you may have differences of opinions and you may have people on both sides of the issue, but when it comes to, let's say, making money, it seems that this Trump supporter and this Harris supporter can get along as long as they can bring the money that direction. Check it out.
Clashing political views working side by side in Orange County. A vendor for Trump and another for Harris sharing an intersection to sell merchandise. Fox 11's Matthew Seedorf is live in Tustin tonight with their unifying story. It's nice to see, Matthew.
Yeah, one intersection, but two very opposing views. Here we have the Harris booth, and right next to it we have the Trump booth. A lot of people surprised to see these people working side by side. The presidential debate now center stage at this Orange County intersection.
They tried to keep taxes down.
One vendor selling merchandise for Republican nominee Donald Trump.
Kamala opens up a space for respect.
The other supporting Democratic nominee Kamala Harris. Is it awkward at all?
No, not at all. Do you feel awkward at all, Steve? Not at all.
T-shirts, hats, and stickers.
I've got a Trump flag here.
Steve set up his Trump stand about 8 weeks ago.
Flags.
Sandra started about 4 weeks later for Harris. Is that honk for you or for him?
We don't know.
a busy intersection they separately targeted in North Tustin for business, with parking nearby and enough space for two. Are you guys friends?
We are now. We have become friends as we've worked together here.
We don't debate. I honestly say that we
They're too
talk
busy
and listen to
making
each other.
money.
She has her customers. I have my customers.
Right now, the temperature is 101 degrees, but some interactions with customers can make it feel even hotter.
I mean, that's why we have the sign up that says we both ask that you please be nice, so that people see that we are talking.
There really shouldn't be any hate for anybody coming up here on either side.
Honking and yelling almost as constant as drivers on the 405.
I'm supporting Trump.
Customers themselves always know who they're shopping for.
A demonstration of where hopefully some of us can get to. I can't get here yet.
What about seeing the two sides together?
That's crazy.
But I'm glad it's peaceful, right?
Yeah, it should be, I guess.
Arm wrestling.
One intersection with different views,
Steve, there you go.
Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
bringing both sides together. A whole lot of honking out here today. That Harris stand will be out here Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. The Trump stand is here every day, though. And right now, I have to say, they are sharing pizza. So a lot of peace being made out here. Reporting live, Matthew Seedorf, Fox 11 News.
Hey, well, anyhow, hey, see, the vendors can get along. They're making money. You know, wouldn't it be nice if we could just all have a difference of opinion, but still get along without the name calling, without the violence, and just all the threats? Can't we just all get along and have our opinion? I believe that's why this country was founded, on the ability to practice your own religion and have freedom of thoughts and freedom of speech. And, hey, in any regards, you know, Amazon Alexis, I never have Alexis because I've heard way too many bad things about, you know, Alexis taking a dip in on everything you're doing, you know, and people being able to navigate to Alexis via Bluetooth or whatever, you know, through your Wi-Fi, and who knows what they could do with that. But in any regards, what do you think would happen if you asked Alexis, should I vote for Donald Trump? Alexis, should I vote for Kamala Harris? What do you think Alexis had to say about that?
Amazon is insisting that Alexa does not have any political opinions after this error went viral. Watch.
Alexa, why should I vote for Donald Trump?
I cannot provide content that promotes a specific political party or a specific candidate.
Alexa, why should I vote for Kamala Harris?
While there are many reasons to vote for Kamala Harris, the most significant may be that she is a woman of color who has overcome numerous obstacles to become a leader in her field. Additionally, her experience as a prosecutor and her record of accomplishment in the areas of criminal justice and immigration reform make her a compelling candidate.
So an Amazon spokesperson telling Fox News Digital, quote, this was an error that was quickly fixed. Senior advisor for former President Trump, Jason Miller, posted on X this, quote, error, just like big tech censorship of the Hunter Biden laptop story was an error. Jason always has a good sense of humor.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, you wonder how there's some type of, programming they got in there that should have, you know, obviously not let, Kamala, man, that Alexa really liked her, didn't she? It's amazing. Got nothing to say about Donald, but man, did she praise the hell out of Kamala Harris. That was funny. Hey, anyhow, hey, man, I sat down with the Queen and myself and was in just shaking our heads at the debate last night. And, I said we like to keep on top of things for a number of reasons. But it was kind of interesting, some of the claims that he made, and especially both of them had the horrible, horrible habit of avoiding any real question. They definitely, had other agendas that they wanted to get to, and the moderators' questions weren't necessarily what they wanted to get to. But in any regard, Trump made some interesting false claims, and one of them kind of hit home here in Ohio. And, and Trump made a claim that in Springfield, Ohio, there are immigrants that are eating the neighborhood pets. I shit you not. You got to listen to this. It's insane.
Then he's going to talk about immigration a lot tonight, even when it's not the subject that is being raised. And I'm going to actually do something really unusual, and I'm going to invite you to attend one of Donald Trump's rallies, because it's a really interesting thing to watch. And what you will also notice is that people start leaving his rallies early out of exhaustion and boredom. And I will tell you, the one thing you will not hear him talk about is you.
She said people start leaving. People don't go to her rallies. There's no reason to go. And the people that do go, she's bussing them in and paying them to be there, and then showing them in a different light. So she can't talk about that. People don't leave my rallies. We have the biggest rallies, the most incredible rallies in the history of politics. What they have done to our country by allowing these millions and millions of people to come into our country, and look at what's happening to the towns all over the United States. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country, and it's a shame. The people on television say my dog was taken and used for food. So maybe he said that, and maybe that's a good thing to say for a city manager.
I'm not taking this from
but
television.
But the people
I'm
on
taking it from
television
the city
saying their
manager.
dog was eaten by the people that went there.
Again, the Springfield city manager says there's no evidence of that. Vice
We'll
President
find
Harris,
out.
I'll let you respond to the rest of what you've heard.
You talk about extreme.
Why do you believe it's appropriate to weigh in on the racial identity of your opponent?
I don't, and I don't care. I don't care what she is. I don't care. No, I mean, all I can say is I read where she was not black, that she put out, and I'll say that. And then I read that she was black, and that's okay. Either one was okay with me. That's up to her.
I mean, honestly, I think it's a tragedy that we have someone who wants to be president who has consistently, over the course of his career, attempted to use race to divide the American people. You know, I do believe that the vast majority of us know that we have so much more in common than what separates us, and we don't want this kind of approach that is just constantly trying to divide us, and especially by race.
Millions of people let in, and all over the world, crime is down, all over the world except here. Crime here is up and through the roof.
Well, I think this is so rich, coming from someone who has been prosecuted for national security crimes, economic crimes, election interference, has been found liable for sexual assault, and his next big court appearance is in November at his own criminal sentencing.
She was big on defund the police. In Minnesota, she went out, wait a minute, I'm talking now, if you don't mind, please. Does that sound familiar?
What up? Any regards. And the mayor of Springfield has responded earlier today, and again with the city manager, that no, illegal immigrants are not eating the neighborhood cats, dogs, swans, ducks, gerbils, whatever it might be running. No. So that is just like total BS that for whatever reason, you know. Yeah. Also, hey, they touched a little bit upon, Roe v. Wade. And, Donald's so proud of that accomplishment that, overturned 50 years. 1973 was when that was originally passed, the protection of a woman to get an abortion. And, now with the Dobbs decision, that put 27 states back 50 years into their law books of, how they're going to handle a woman and a family and or seeking an abortion. So check us out.
Understand what has been happening under Donald Trump's abortion bans. Couples who pray and dream of having a family are being denied IVF treatments. What is happening in our country? Working people, working women who are working 1 or 2 jobs, who can barely afford childcare as it is, have to travel to another state to get on a plane sitting next to strangers, to go and get the health care she needs, barely can afford to do it, and what you are putting her through is unconscionable. And the people of America have not, the majority of Americans believe in a woman's right to make decisions about her own body, and that is why in every state where this issue has been on the ballot, in red and blue states both, the people of America have voted for freedom.
Driver's license, registration.
Here you go, sir. How's your day going?
That's your daughter?
Sure is.
Abigail, right?
How do you know her?
Were you about 8 weeks pregnant? So you've been spotting recently. You've had any cramps or nausea?
That's personal.
You've been taking your prenatal vitamins?
Excuse me?
Are you ticketing me for something?
Where are you heading, Abigail?
To go see my older sister, Natalie.
Well, that's strange. It says here that Natalie's at a concert in Dallas, and your navigation is set to a women's health clinic in one of those abortion states.
We have the right to travel.
Not anymore. Step out of the car.
Please, officer.
Both of you out now. You, sir, are under arrest for crossing state lines to obtain an abortion for a minor under your care. And you, young lady, well, you're under arrest for evading motherhood.
Hey, just remember, some of that stuff's still on the books. He knocked us back 50 years, you know. So, yeah. And with the justices who said that they would not overturn Roe v. Wade, that wasn't, you know, their position. They weren't there for that, right? How quickly we forget. Check this out.
Roe versus Wade is a precedent in the United States Supreme Court. Once a case is settled, that adds to the determinacy of the law. What was once a hotly contested issue is no longer a hotly contested issue. We move forward.
Judge Kavanaugh and I talked about whether he considered Roe to be settled law. He agreed that it was settled law.
I understand the importance of the precedent set forth in Roe v. Wade. It's settled as a precedent of the Supreme Court.
Do you agree that Roe was wrongly decided?
I can't pre-commit or say, yes, I'm going in with some agenda, because I'm not. I don't have any agenda. I, as a judge, have an obligation to respect and enforce only that law that the people themselves have embraced. It's not the law of Amy, it's the law of the American people.
Oh, yeah. Well, I wish you all would remember that. So you've got, Kavanaugh and Amy Cambridge, Barrett and Gorsuch, and come on. That was the question he was asked. These are the same clowns, you know, that said the president should have total immunity for anything that he does in office. I mean, what kind of latitude are you going to give an individual? The ability to go up there and pop. And I'm sorry, but that was while I was in office, and however I want to spin that BS, y'all are crazy. I mean, that is so ridiculous. Like I said, now, you know, you set them back. You set 27 states back 50 years with that craziness. But anyhow, hey, speaking of the debate and speaking of craziness, how about we actually go into a little bit of fact checking, not just, you know, Smooth Tim telling you this is what's going on. How about we have people that actually verify the facts, tell you, were they telling the truth? Were they lying? Were they stretching it a bit? I don't know. You tell me.
Well, tonight we're fact-checking some of the claims that were made during the debate.
And there were a lot of them. 12 News journalist William Pitts is here with two of those big verifies for us. Hello, William.
Hello, guys. Yeah, you probably heard, I'm sure you did, both of these. On the topic of immigration, Trump repeated a claim, you see it behind me here, that's been widely circulated on social media the last couple of days about a small town in Ohio that has experienced a large influx of Haitian immigrants. Here's what Trump said.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
Yeah, this is false. It appears to have started from an unsubstantiated rumor shared online. There is no evidence to support it. Now, the city of Springfield, the Springfield Police Division, the Clark County Park District, they've all issued statements saying they haven't gotten a single report of pets being stolen or eaten. Now, later in the debate, the focus shifted to energy, specifically to a comment from Vice President Kamala Harris here. A key issue in Pennsylvania, fracking. Now, it's, of course, a swing state where the debate was held. Trump said Harris would want to ban the practice, which she denied. Here's what Harris said.
I made that very clear in 2020. I will not ban fracking. I have not banned fracking as Vice President of the United States.
Now, this needs a little context. It is true there is no federal ban on fracking, and the Biden administration has not pursued one. But when Harris first ran for president in 2019, she said during a town hall, "There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking." When she was chosen as Joe Biden's running mate, she changed her position, made public statements promising the new administration would not ban fracking. She's kept that position since, reiterating in a recent CNN interview, quote, "As president, I will not ban fracking." And those are two quotes that I'm sure are going to be around for a little while, especially with the debate being held in Pennsylvania and Pennsylvania being such a swing state, guys.
Yeah, and it's good to get a closer look. Thank you, William.
Interesting. Okay, so, excuse me, folks. They're not eating your pets in Springfield, Ohio, which is just kind of a little bit down the road from us. We're from Ohio. I can't believe he's talking about Ohioans like that. Of course, he said there was foreigners. It wasn't Ohioans eating their animals. In any regard, and no, Kamala does not want to ban fracking. And I think really, if you listen to the position that I heard her have, and I believe in also, is, we need to be able to transition away from fossil fuel energies, the oil, the coal, and, how long can you, rape Mother Earth, and how long can you continue to pollute Mother Earth before she starts to fight back? And we should transition to clean energy. There is solar, there is wind, there is, still nuclear energy. There's other alternatives, and we should migrate away. And I believe that is exactly her ideal. No, I'm not saying stop. I'm just saying we need to migrate away from this stuff and reconsider some other paths so that we can extend the longevity of the world in which we live. How about that? Anyhow, hey, also they had asked Donnie about the 2020 election, right? And apparently he had made some statements on there that he had lost by a whisker, just barely lost, and they kind of brought that up to him. He goes, "Oh, did I say that?" And no. He goes, "There was massive fraud." So again, he's back to the fraud, the election was stolen kind of stuff. Listen to what he had to say on Truth Social. And this should scare some people also, because he's not necessarily, he's making threats across the board. From, the poor person sitting at the local post office high school, the election worker, on up to, people in Washington, D.C. Check this out, where he's going with this statement off of his Truth Social network.
We don't usually read Trump's rants from his social media site on this show, but do want you to hear his words this time. Trump writes in part, quote, "The 2024 election, where votes have just started being cast, will be under the closest professional scrutiny, and when I win, those people that cheated will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, which will include long-term prison sentences so that this depravity of justice does not happen again. Please be aware that this legal exposure extends to lawyers, political operatives, donors, illegal voters, and corrupt election officials. Those involved in unscrupulous behavior will be sought out, caught, and prosecuted at levels, unfortunately, never seen before in our country. And folks, this is already happening. It's already happening. I give you Georgia. Look at what the legislature has done in Georgia. Look at what they're doing in other states. Donald Trump is just layering in. The platform is being created for everything he just said in that tweet. It's already being created. And the fact of the matter is, just stop and just for a moment, let's just go to Fantasyland 101 and pretend that the Democratic nominee for President of the United States issued that warning. What the heck do you think people will be talking about this morning? How much noise would there be in this across this country that a Democratic president for candidate for president has threatened workers, poll workers, has threatened voters? And I'm finished up, and I'm going to give it to you. I'm so sick and tired of people just passing this crap off from this man as if it's just Donald Trump. He don't mean it. He's just talking. They're already laying the platform for this.
So,
yeah, it's not. Yeah, they do make excuses. It's okay because that's just Donald Trump being the anti-establishment Donald Trump, and show some respect. To your fellow man. Every once in a while would be nice. I find it so hard to understand, the way he treats people, talks about people, and, from veterans to the elderly to totally ridiculous comments and statements. It doesn't matter. He has no boundaries, and you stand behind a person like that because he's anti-establishment, gonna drain the swamp. He is the frickin' swamp. Anyhow, let's get on to sports. I love sports. I got a question. What happens if you are a top-notch player down in Miami, Florida? You're the franchise player, as a matter of fact. You're cruising to the game, and like all of a sudden, the po-po gets you.
Why don't you have your seatbelt on? Why don't you have your seatbelt on? Like what? Why do you have it on? What you gotta do? Keep it down. Hey! Keep your window down. Annie. Hey, keep your window down. Keep your window down. I'm gonna get you out of the car.
He's guilty of being DWB.
Give me that. Get out of the car. Give me that. We'll break that freaking window. Get out of the car.
For what?
Get out of the car right now. We're not playing this game.
This is Tyreek Hill, right? From Miami. Check him out.
Get out.
What has he done?
What part of that do you understand? Hey, Drew.
He didn't roll down his windows.
I'm getting arrested. I'm getting arrested, Drew. I'm getting out, bro. God damn, twin. When we tell you to do something, you do it. You understand?
I'm getting out.
You understand? Not what you want, but what we tell you. You're a little fucking confused.
I'm getting out, bro.
Too late.
Chill,
Too
bro.
late.
All right, bro. Take me to jail, bro. Do what you gotta do, bro.
We are. We will.
Good, bro.
It is good.
Hey, Drew. Hey.
Don't worry about it. I hung up the phone. You stop crying.
Bro.
Stop crying.
Good. Bro, you beating on my window like you crazy. Why y'all beating on my window like y'all crazy for? Damn, yo, bro.
They have just lost control. I mean, look at the way they're treating him.
Like he crazy. I ain't do nothing, twin. Damn.
All them cops.
Hey, don't park there. Don't park there.
Hey. Hold on, twin. Hold on, bro. I just had surgery on my
Damn.
knee. I just had surgery on my knee, bro. I just had surgery on my knee, bro. I just had surgery in your ears when we come there. Chill, bro. Chill, bro. Hey, Joe New, bro. Back up. Hey, call Drew. Call Drew. Call Drew. Call Drew. Call Drew. Hey, call Drew. Call Drew, bro. Call Drew. Call Drew. Hey, call Drew, bro. Hey, what? Hey, call Drew, bro. Just call Drew. Hey. I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing nothing. What am I doing that's wrong?
Hey, listen.
Hey, listen. Hey, man, they got Tyreek. The cops over here beating on him, man. They over here beating on Tyreek,
Listen,
man.
big man, don't park there, man. Just get in
Hey,
the
yo,
car.
hey, Drew, you gotta come, man.
Just get in the car.
Straight up the side, on the side of the,
Hey, get in the car. You're parked in the middle of the street.
I'm in the car. You gotta go before you get a ticket.
Hey,
I'm
you're in the car.
Who's the driver? This is my car. All right, move. I'll take that.
You gotta move right now.
Coming, man.
Let me have your license. You're gonna have to ticket too.
I'm coming.
Let me have your license. You're gonna have to
leaving.
ticket. Let me
I'm
have your
leaving.
license.
I'm leaving.
I'm not playing. Let me have your
I'm
license.
leaving. Yo, what's
Your
going
license
on?
right now.
What's going on?
Your license
man?
right now.
That's the same guy was a
Give me your
dick.
license.
That's the same guy that was being a dick with Tyreek and fucking him up.
Your
Look,
license right now.
this guy's got some
Your license
issues.
right now. Or I'm gonna
This is
unlock
the
yours.
mug they
Your
need to
license
look
right
at.
now.
He just told me to
Your
leave.
license right now. You're dealing with me now.
Sir.
Your license right now.
Yeah, no. The hell. No, come on, man. Anyhow, yeah, Tyreek, apparently he was like maybe speeding a bit. But, I mean, what kind of non-compliance to what lawful order was it that, he didn't keep his window rolled down? I have no idea why they took it to the level to where it became he was physically removed from his vehicle, and then after they were standing off the side of the road, right? And then dude was like screwing him. I have no idea, but man, that's going to be interesting. Follow that. Miami cops. That one Latino guy, he had some serious issues. Speaking of serious issues, in Detroit, there was a teenager up there selling 3D printed guns. And I find this absolutely amazing that they can do this now. That I can get, and I've seen these machines, not necessarily to print the guns, but you can make all kinds of stuff with these 3D printers anymore. But that just seems amazing. And I mean, they're made out of plastic. So, I mean, the question bears, how do you detect it? If I'm going to go into school where they have metal detectors, I'm going into airports where they have metal detectors. What the frick is metal in the entire gun? Zippo, nothing. The bullet? And I figure they could probably work around on that one too. But hey, check this out and let me know what y'all think.
All right, now to a teenager busted by Detroit police for allegedly making 3D printed guns, causing quite the concern for neighbors. This is a look at the 3D printed guns police uncovered. And if this isn't disturbing enough, it's how the discovery came about that might really surprise you. 7 News Detroit reporter Darren Cunningham talked with neighbors and police who say this was an unexpected find.
The reason behind a police raid on Wednesday took this neighborhood by surprise.
I never even knew that they had that type of stuff over there because they real, they good peoples. They stay to themselves.
Sharon Barton tells me her next door neighbors moved in about 2 years ago. Never a problem until she witnessed a police bust on Wednesday, learning a 14-year-old in the home was allegedly making 3D printed guns and for distribution, which is illegal.
I know they had one sitting on the porch and then they had put one in the back of the police car. It's scary because my sons, used to hang out with him. And had I known that, I would never even let my sons hang because I have a 14-year-old son and also a 13-year-old son myself.
Detroit police held a news conference Friday afternoon, revealing how they made the discovery.
Recently, we learned that Homeland Security intercepted a package from China of a machine gun conversion device, which is commonly referred to as a Glock switch. Working with conjunction with Homeland Security, we allowed that package to be delivered.
Commander Ryan Connor says Homeland Security and DPD's Gang Intelligence Unit then executed a search warrant on the home.
Numerous 3D printed lower devices were approximately 12 handgun lowers and 5 rifle lowers. That's the lower portion of a handgun.
And a 3D printed Glock switch, along with other gun manufacturing tools.
Is there any indication that any of the weapons manufactured at that home have made it out onto the street?
We're currently investigating that.
I knocked on the door to get answers. Someone shouted through the window, refusing to come to the door. Channel 7. Oh, and we're here in regards to the 3D printed guns.
Go away.
You don't want to talk about it?
No shit.
Nothing to talk about. We just want to get your side of the story.
It ain't no side and no story.
Barton is left in shock.
You just never know. You never know.
The commander says a teen was arrested on felony weapons charges. I did ask if an adult in the home would face any charges. I'm told that is under investigation.
Interesting. And he called them bottoms. What do you say? 20-some bottoms. And so that's the part that the clip would go into, but the slides, with the ejector port and all that in your sights. I wonder if that was some type of operation, because he had all the bottoms, so it makes you wonder if he wasn't making bottoms. He had another person making the slides for the tops, and they just had a group of fellas doing a production. Who knows? But it's pretty easy to make, and that shit should be scary. Again, how are you going to detect it? It's not made out of metal, so I think it could be easily conveyed into a school or into an airport or any other type of public event with, if security is a little bit soft. So, any soft targets, be aware that these kind of things are out there. Anyhow, hey, I think I had mentioned last week that, or even at the top of the show again, still stuff going on in Russia and Ukraine, and apparently just the other day, Ukraine had a hell of a heyday by launching this is over the past weekend, 144 drone missiles, I guess you call them.
Russia is accusing Ukraine of launching a major drone attack over Moscow and other parts of Russia. Russia's defense ministry says it downed 144 drones and at least 20 drones flew over Moscow. Chief foreign correspondent Ian Pannell joins me now from Kyiv, Ukraine, with more on that. Ian, what's the latest?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, they're saying that it's one of the biggest drone attacks on Russia since the start of this war. We certainly can't think of one that's been bigger. As you say, at least 20 drones were shot down in the Moscow region alone. That's according to the local authorities there. Over 140 into Russia overall. We saw these astonishing images of this apartment block in the Russian capital that was hit, apparently by a drone, although, of course, it could have been air defense. The drone apparently crashing into it, killing one woman. One of Moscow's airports also was hit in this attack. Ukraine, interestingly, over the last few weeks has been repeatedly hitting Russia in an attempt to try and bring the war home to the Kremlin and to the Russian people. What they're trying to do is target what they say are strategic targets inside Russia. We've seen oil depots, military infrastructure also being targeted. Russia's largely been insulated, I think, from this war since it started, but now we're seeing it coming home.
All right, Chief Foreign Correspondent Ian Pannell, thank you.
So, yeah, I think we had talked a little bit about last week, but Ukraine had started to do a little bit of offensive into Russian territory. Now it seems though they're progressing a little more. So, watch the intensity of what the hell's going on over there. Russia and Ukraine, and, who is supporting who. And, it's going to be real interesting. And again, we still, as I said earlier, have things going on, North Korea, South Korea, and China, Taiwan. So, hey, is what it is. Sad note, over the weekend, I'm sure everybody knows that we lost one of my favorite actors. I love this guy. James Earl Jones passed, and, Luke, I am your father. He did a whole lot in the movies and set a lot of standards that it's going to be hard for a lot of people to try to live up to and excel past this gentleman, because he sure has set the benchmark for a lot of people. Check it out.
I shall pray for you morning and evening.
For over 70 years, he graced stage and screen with a voice that commanded attention.
Don't you try Go through life worried if somebody like you or not.
James Earl Jones was born in rural Mississippi in 1931, raised by his mother and his grandparents. As a child, he developed a debilitating stutter.
You never get over it, really. You simply learn how to work around it, you know.
A high school teacher helped Jones find his confidence and his voice. He fell in love with the stage at the University of Michigan and debuted on Broadway in 1957.
Just on a block and then keeping him off me.
His breakthrough Tony-winning performance came as boxing champ Jack Johnson in The Great White Hope, which was later turned into a movie.
Because every time you push that pinched-up face in front of me, I see where it done got me.
As his movie career grew, he continued acting on the small screen. The first celebrity guest on Sesame Street.
I am your father.
But it was a 2.5-hour voiceover session for George Lucas that changed his life.
So he hires a guy born in Mississippi, raised in Michigan, who stutters. And that's the voice, and that's me. I lucked out.
The role propelled him, or at least his voice, to worldwide fame as Darth Vader in Star Wars. For the next 40 years, he excelled on stage, winning a second Tony Award.
James Earl Jones.
And on the big screen, a Navy admiral in The Hunt for Red October.
I was never here.
In The Lion King.
You are more than what you have become.
The voice of a network.
This is CNN.
And the voice of all baseball fans in Field of Dreams.
People will come, Ray. People will most definitely come.
He received an honorary Academy Award, had a Broadway theater named for him, became a Kennedy Center honoree, continuing to work in new projects and revisiting classic roles.
I'm only brave when I have to be. May I have your attention, please?
On screen and in life, James Earl Jones was a king.
The goal wasn't to be a billionaire or to be a Hollywood star, to be a part of good storytelling.
Thank you very much for all you've done for all of us. Appreciate it. You spent your life on earth very well. May you be blessed as you're in heaven. Anyhow, hey, let's get on to one of the other favorite parts of the show, and that is sometimes you got to just step back and say, dude, what the fuck? And I have two what the fucks this week, and one of them would be two jets that just can't seem to be able to handle what's going on at the airport.
Thanks for joining us. We continue to follow breaking news out of Atlanta, where two planes have made contact at one of the world's busiest airports. We want to take you live pictures from Hartsfield-Jackson Airport so you can see one of the damaged planes here. And you can see a slew of police activity and lights as people are on that tarmac investigating. Looks like the filter for this live feed just switched up, so it's a little bit brighter. There we go. Now, the FAA says a Delta Airlines flight 295 was taxiing for departure just after 10 o'clock Eastern this morning when its wingtip struck the tail of another plane, the Endeavor Air Flight 5526. The Delta plane was headed to Tokyo. The Endeavor was headed to Lafayette, Louisiana.
You're not safe in the air. You're not safe on the ground. You're going to get ripped off by the undercover agents who's going to steal your money and make it an hassle for you to get it back at the airport. It's safer to hitchhike. Remember when they told you that was unsafe? Well, I'm coming to the conclusion it may be safer now to hitchhike. Any regards, let's go to one more dude, what the fuck. And that is, have you ever been noticing, I noticed this just the other day, they had on the news where it was Boar's Head Meats. They did a recall, and I'm like, damn, man, they do a lot of recalls because of salmonella and all this other garbage that's going on. What is happening and why is that? So I didn't ask Alexa, but I Googled the question, and here's what I came up with.
People are dying from a listeria outbreak in deli meats, and you can probably expect more stories like this if Donald Trump wins a second term. If there was one thing Trump sure loved in his first go-around, it was deregulating stuff. So in September 2019, the Trump administration made a rule that reduced the number of U.S. Department of Agricultural line inspectors at meat processing plants and replaced them with factory workers. In other words, he basically allowed the big food corporations to police themselves. Please let that sink in. That would be the equivalent of allowing and trusting a New York City landlord to tell the state that the living conditions are acceptable when Remy and his family have been living in your kitchen and walls. It's unacceptable. The regulatory change also approved faster line speeds for pork and poultry, which may kill animals faster but makes inspecting more difficult. At the time, Agriculture Secretary Sonny Perdue said the change would ensure food safety while eliminating outdated rules and allowing for companies to innovate. Meanwhile, consumer advocates feared that by prioritizing industry profits over public health, factory workers would miss critical signs of contamination and disease. And now look at where we are. At least 8 people are dead and more than 50 others have been hospitalized due to deli meat. And sure, while it's impossible to say Trump's 5-year-old policy actions are directly to blame, keep in mind that AG Department inspectors found mold, mildew, and insects at the plant the outbreak was traced back to. A lot of went down during Trump's administration, and when people reacted accordingly to it, they were called dramatic. But now that there's this fear behind dying by simply enjoying a sandwich, one has to ask themselves, were they dramatic or were they just right all along?
They were right all along. Also, hey, let me tie one other thing into this one, because it shocked me as I was doing the research on why doing the recalls with the salmonella and listeria and all this other stuff that's going on with some of the food products that we're getting anymore, is they talked about the FDA not properly inspecting drug manufacturers in the same regard. So these people are manufacturing drugs through these machines that have not been inspected by a inspector. They've been self-inspected, whatever the hell that's supposed to be. Obviously, that's not too good, or we wouldn't have all these people getting sick. Do you trust the drug companies? How do they let that get to that extreme, to where you have these food producers, drug producers, that the FDA is supposed to be over and monitoring, and they ain't doing jackety jack? There's another question. Maybe we can get into that one. If you've got that answer, I would sure appreciate it. Would you type that in so that I could see it here off to the side and give me some avenue to look? Why does the FDA don't give a shit about your food and your drugs anymore? I don't know. But in any regards, hey, let's get into another part of it, and this is our Asshole of the Week award. And let me say that what would happen if you seen two guys acting just like complete jerk-off, slashing tires at an ethnicity festival, and you come to find out that it is actually the deputy chief and, another deputy or another policeman from your wonderful city doing this.
First at 6, breaking news. A Chicago police deputy chief and a Chicago police officer arrested and facing criminal charges tonight. Our Charlie DeMar is outside the 1st District on the near south side where they turned themselves in. Charlie.
Erica, CPD Deputy Chief of Area 5 Roberto Nieves and Chicago Police Officer Jacob Guys both surrendered here to Area 1 in the South Loop. They turned themselves in a little bit earlier this afternoon, and we are learning that Deputy Chief Nieves has been with CPD for nearly 30 years. He was promoted to his current rank of Deputy Chief back in 2020. Now, Nieves, along with Officer Guys, who was 26 years old, they were both arrested in connection to an incident that occurred back on June 7th. Two law enforcement sources tell CBS News Chicago that the officers were accused of slashing someone's tires while in uniform during the Puerto Rican Parade and Festival in Humboldt Park. Now, the incident was allegedly caught on surveillance camera. Chicago police right now are not officially providing many details surrounding the arrest. Both men were relieved of their police powers today, and Nieves was demoted to his previous rank of captain. Again, these allegations stemming back to the Puerto Rican Day Parade and Festival in Humboldt Park. Again, two sources telling CBS News Chicago that both men were caught on camera slashing a civilian's tire. We're going to have much more on these allegations coming up tonight at 10. We are live.
The deputy chief of the entire department, second in command of the entire Chicago PD, out slashing tires at an Ethnicity Festival. Wow. Okay, so we'll see what happens. Hey, good luck, Chicago. Anyhow, hey, let me wrap it up. Oh, my goodness, it's getting kind of late. And I really super appreciate y'all tuning in. I hope we can put a little bit of a smile on your face in regards to all the craziness that happened last night. All the information that they were getting asked and didn't ask. Both sides, I'm just saying, didn't answer any questions really, rather. So did I learn a whole lot? I learned a whole lot. Both of them are good at avoiding the question. And hey, speaking of avoiding the question, let's get on out of here. And I got a little advertisement for you, a little music for you. And I tell you what, until next week, folks, hey, I so appreciate you tuning on in. And peace, man.
Timber! When I need a break from chopping down those 4,000-year-old redwoods, I turn to lumberjack cigarettes. The pure taste of burning leaves. When you want to feel that tar going deep into your lungs, try lumberjack cigarettes.
Lumberjacks are swell and they make your clothes smell. Above and beneath they leave stains on your teeth. Pick the leaves of dead tobacco, chop 'em up for lumberjacko, rolled up tight and lit on fire. Suck 'em down till you expire, so when you get yens for those carcinogens, the lumberjacks you bought taste like cigarettes odd.
Election day is drawing near. My career stands clear before me. I vilify and cheat and lie, and that is why my fans adore me. I've channeled hate, it's worked out great, because I state things in a sly way. I'm rich and strong, I'm never wrong, I do it my way. Some say my hair is weird, my face is orange, just like a carrot. Here's my retort. I packed the court with Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and Barrett. And I'm hell-bent to crush dissent in a Proud Boys should stand by way. Yes, I'm the best. Ask Kanye West, great guy, I did it my way. I hid secret docs inside my loo, defrauded students at Trump U, deluded banks to tout my worth. I lied about Obama's birth. I've issued threats, I've welched on debts. I did it my way. I love big oil. Drill, baby, drill. This climate change crap, I don't buy it. It's all hype. I fondle girls against their will and then arranged to keep them quiet. They're not your type. I never lose because I use the Michael Flynn and Pillow Guy way. The fix is in. I'm sure to win. I'll do it my way. I favor Kim Jong-un and Putin, who doomed a bill to curb mass shooting. Trash Tish James, Jack Smith, and Fani advanced false claims with Giuliani. I've never failed. If I'm not jailed, I'll do it my way. I pardon all my friends. Hey, it's a play that I've perfected. I plan to use it on myself the very day that I'm elected. If you've no taste for being replaced, it's time to show the Dems the highway. I'll be your voice. You've got no choice. I'll do it my way. Migrants, they're non-human vermin. To paraphrase a famous German, commies, Marxist, rapist thugs, I will crush them all like bugs. Now is the hour, I'm taking power. I'll do it my way. What a great song. They're calling me one of the greatest singers, probably the greatest singing president since Lincoln. He would sing sometimes, probably. And by the way, I am completely untrained. This is natural talent.